Donald Trump's trade policies of imposing tariffs on everyone and everything, including uninhabited islands, is so bad that you now have Republicans in the United States Senate joining forces with Democrats to literally strip Donald Trump of his ability to put tariffs in place. On Thursday, the day after, Trump puts the tariffs in place, we saw the stock market in the first 20 minutes of Thursday drop 1,200 points. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley said, enough. He immediately went to Democrats and co-sponsored legislation that would require any tariff put in place by the United States president to be approved, essentially ratified by Congress within 60 days. So, that is now legislation that is going to slowly work its way through the United States Senate, and it's legislation that unfortunately is not going to go anywhere. Because in order to get this legislation to actually become the law of the United States, you would need a veto-proof majority. But even before you got the veto-proof majority, you'd have to get the House of Representatives on board. And so far, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson has indicated, we're going to let Trump do whatever the hell Trump wants. In fact, before the so-called Liberation Day, as I talked about in a segment, Mike Johnson actually said, you just have to trust Trump. You got to trust his instincts on the economy. So Johnson's already rolling over and showing his belly and saying, I'm here, I'm a good boy. I'm not going to step out of line and strip you of your power. Over in the Senate, however, completely different story. You got Chuck Grassley. You got Susan Collins. You got Lisa Murkowski. Hell, you even have Mitch McConnell now. You even have, by the way, Tommy Tuberville that has spoken out about how bad the tariffs are going to be for his state of Alabama. So even the dumbest guy in Congress knows how bad these are. Even a guy kissing Trump's ass 24/7 will publicly admit that they're going to be bad for his state. But not Mike Johnson over in the House. God, no. No, you got to trust Trump. You are ordered, basically, to trust Donald Trump on this issue. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. We might get the numbers in the Senate. I mean, honestly, based on the way it looks now, we already have the numbers in the Senate to pass the legislation, but we're not going to get it to go anywhere in the House. At least not right now. See, I'm willing to bet that as long as these tariffs do remain in place and the economic harm starts coming for American citizens, where we're expected to pay no less than $4,200 extra a year for basic goods, eventually Mike Johnson is going to have to realize he can't sit on his hands and just trust Trump on the economy. The voter backlash will be huge. And if Johnson wants to keep his job, hell, if he even wants to keep his seat at this point, he's going to have to understand that he will have to allow that legislation to move forward in the House. And also, just by the way, an aside for the Republicans who don't want to support this legislation, y'all do realize that a Republican is not always going to be the president, right? So do you want to give these tariff powers over to some nasty far-left Democrat? Oh, no, you don't want them to have that power, do you? So I suggest you support the legislation, just to screw over future Democrats, right? That's how you can sell it. Whatever it takes to make you feel better about voting in favor of it, okay? I don't care. Stop Donald Trump before he tanks the economy. You literally have the power to do it. You now have the legislation to do it. And if you let the public down, you may not survive in your seat to fight another day. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.